Hey guys, welcome to Legion's Trading Post. My name's Brett, and on this channel, our goal is to take you through a raw process of how you go about reselling, how we got there, and how we're going, and where we're going. And my goal for this is really to keep it simple. Most of our videos are planned to just be raw, unedited versions so that you can see the real us as we grow, as we scale, and as we teach you and show you our mistakes and show you our learnings, what's succeeding, what's working, what's not. So welcome to the channel. I hope you're going to enjoy this. So like I said, my name's Brett, and I started reselling on eBay around July of 2025, kind of May, July timeframe. May, I think I put my first listing up on eBay, and it was actually 2024. I did an auction. I sold something for 99 cents, and I had to pay shipping, which is going to be a loss for me. So I ended up not communicating, not sending it out. Terrible decision because I got a negative review out of it. Absolutely should have, because I basically canceled it. And I didn't realize how much a negative rating could hurt your business. So I let it go around May, June of the following year. So this last year when I started, I saw that it was still there from a year ago. And I said, okay, screw it. It'll fall off in a year, and kept going. So I did reselling, and I started this because I needed some side income. And I always liked the idea of buying cheap and flipping it for a profit. I'm a video gamer at heart, and I remember playing Guild Wars 2, going to the auction house, buying stuff from people real cheap, flipping it for 5-10x the value, and just doing that every morning and every night. And I figured, why not do that in real life? So I started doing it. I started going to garage sales, thrift stores. I started watching YouTubers, much like you're probably doing today. This is my first video, so welcome to the channel and welcome to the journey. But I just started playing around. I started learning things. I made mistakes. So I hope you get a lot of value from what I'm about to tell you here today, and just kind of my journey, and go along the process with me as I learn not only reselling, but also YouTube and interacting with the community. And I plan on fully commenting and replying to all the comments. If you have any questions, if you have any feedback, whatever it is, it's all helpful. And I hope to be a large help to you too, because there's a lot to go through. I hope I have a lot of content to share with you guys and keep this consistent, show you where I'm at. So in July, I started playing around. I watched all these videos of YouTubers. Probably the biggest thing that they've told me that I remember is keep your stuff organized. That's the hardest thing for me to have done, because just being real, when I started, I had a tiny little office. Here, it's a little bit bigger, but when I moved, I moved back at the end of March, and it kind of threw everything for a loop, but we'll get to that. So that's the biggest thing. Keep your stuff organized, because the worst thing to do is you get a sale, you're super excited, and then you're like, where is it? Especially if you have a lot of stuff. You're like, is it in this shelf? Is it in that box? Label your stuff, get it organized however you see fit. We'll get into videos later in this channel on how best to organize it, how we started, where we're at, where we plan on getting. So yeah, that's the biggest piece of advice first for that. I started going to garage sales, to Goodwill. I tried a lot of different things. I visited Five Below. I visited other places. And I learned what's called comping. And that's basically just doing research on the internet. I chose eBay, so I focused on eBay comps, and we'll get into how to do all of those details. But just seeing, okay, if I'm paying this much, then I'm selling it for this other amount. Well, is that going to be a profit? And at the beginning, I thought buying something at $5 and selling it at $10 was $5 profit. Come to think of it, that's almost breaking even if you're lucky, with shipping and fees and promotion fees, so many different fees, and taxes and stuff like that. So you got to keep that in mind, is your profit margins, and focus on that. Do your research before you sell something, before you buy something, and you'll learn it. And if you follow this channel, I'm going to do so many focused videos on just the eBay fees, eBay store fees, eBay listing fees, shipping fees, what to expect with ounces versus the size of the box, all of that stuff. That's one thing. Then there's supplies that you have to do. So there's so much to get into. I'm so excited to show you guys this. But part of my story was learning all of that. So finding an item for cheap, you're probably gonna have to sell it for cheap most of the time. While that's not always true, that's kind of my experience. Is I would just fill my inventory with a lot of cheap stuff that I didn't do comps on. So you've got to do your comps, check your sell-through rates, which we'll get into as well. But a short version of sell-through rate is basically supply and demand. How many people are selling it? How many people are buying it over a 90-day period? That's sell-through rate. And we'll get into that more too. So I had to learn a lot about that. Where am I going to get my inventory? Is it garage sales? Is it thrift stores? Like locally in the area? Is it Goodwill? Is it just buying on Facebook Marketplace and finding that? Is it buying on eBay? So I had to learn a lot of that, but my main goal, or my main source, was garage sales. I love going to garage sales because I'm a very sociable person. I like the negotiating factor, and a lot of the items you can get for cheap, and a lot of the times people just want to get rid of it. So they might want to sell it for $5, but you could easily haggle them down to $3 or $2. And just what I've found when you're haggling, this is just a little quick tip here. Find a flaw in it and don't show your excitement for the item. That's the biggest thing. Is you find some sort of flaw. Oh, I see there's a couple of scratch marks on here. Do you think you could go down a little bit? There's your free quick tip of the day. Maybe I'll do some videos about quick tips of the day and do a shorts channel. So around August, September, I started to see some traction. And the one thing that really sold my wife on it, because she hates the clutter, and she hates the dirtiness and all that and having to clean stuff. She's like, I want clean stuff. So that's another barrier we had to get through. But the one sale that actually made her buy in on it and be at least okay with it was the sealed remote that I found at this garage sale that I bought for $5, sold for $200 within an hour of posting it. And that was because I did some research, and the guy was also a reseller. I researched it after the fact because I saw that when I bought it, it was a $200 sell on comps on eBay, around that $250. So I undersold it because I'm like, that's a $195 profit. That's it was a $450 retail remote, and so that guy probably bought it like that for $200 to resell it for $250, $275, something like that. But when I sold that and saw that was an opportunity, that's when my wife was like, wait, what? You just made that money? And I put that money back into my business, buying supplies, buying containers, buying all sorts of stuff, sourcing new inventory, stuff like that. So that's a perfect example of being able to start this with almost no money. And it's super easy to set up an eBay store. Shipping is not as daunting as it sounds, or as you may think it'll be. But we'll get into that too. Part of the shipping is just knowing what to expect and then being able to find your item when it sells. So there's that. So I had to figure out where I was going to get my stuff, but then what stuff was I going to get? And I found garage sales was fun because all sorts of people have all sorts of different stuff. They have glass, antiques, comic books, there's board games, kids' toys galore at garage sales. So you just had to find your area, find your niche or niche. How do you say it? Let me know in the comments how you say it. Say it niche. So what do you want to do? What do you want to sell? What's fun? What's interesting? What do you know? Me, I was and am a video gamer. And so I'm like, okay, I know games. I know this. And I started to think, what could be fun to flip? and I forget exactly where it was. I follow a lot of Poketubers, so I think I was at a garage sale and I saw a bag of Pokemon cards or something, or someone had a binder for like 10 cents a card. And I did some comps on it, and I'm like, oh, the Pokemon world. This was before Jake Paul and all his stuff, or Logan, or whoever it is, that sold the $16 million Illustrator Pikachu, which is absurd. But I think it was also the Mega Evolutions that was coming out just after Legends EA. And I found my niche there. And I've expanded it more, just instead of just Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, which I don't know much about and haven't delved in. I'm interested in Lorcana, comic books, all that sort of stuff. So I have a lot to learn on that. I even have a lot to learn in Pokemon. Like, there's so many sets. There's probably multiple dozens of main sets with their own sets within them, and it's just a lot to keep up with, and analyzing the market. And maybe you guys could help me with understanding analyzing the market if you guys are experienced, so let me know down in the comments. But yeah, so I started to really go hard on the Pokemon, and that's kind of where my main focus is on the business, because I found a lot of use out of, like, a lot of people don't know what they have, and the more I learn, the more I can see something. As an example, this weekend I went to a garage sale. Every person I went to, I was like, do you have Pokemon cards? Do you have Pokemon cards? Most of them say no. But even if they don't have it out, always ask, because there was one that I asked. They're like, yeah, we have some random stuff. Brought out some small stack of cards, like 15 or 20 of them. And as I was flipping through them, most of them are commons, uncommons. There's a few holos in there that might be 20, 50 cents. And they offered $5. And as I was looking through, I saw a Shining Mew. And if you guys don't know what that is, look it up. It's the Shining Mew that it's like a holo, but it's textured on the Mew. And I saw it and I'm like, that's got to be good money. So I'm in the middle of that. I'm not going to pull out my phone and comp it right there in front of them, because then they'd know what the value is on it. So I just heard their value. They said $5. I went, okay. And like I told you, look for a flaw in it. I looked at a lot of the cards. A lot of them were like warped. There were edges on a lot of them. So I was like, man, the condition's kind of rough on some of these. I don't really know all of this, saying like I didn't know the value of a lot of them. I was like, could you go down to $3? So I got them for $3. Looked up that Shining Mew, and in near mint, it's about $140 card. And it's probably, with the edging it had, it seemed to be some cut, like just the nature of cutting it wore the card a bit. So it might be $100 card for $3. So I thought that was a pretty cool pickup. And it's just fun. I've stayed away from sealed product. I've had my hand in sealed product. I just felt too much like a scalper when I did it a few times. And it's inconsistent. You never know what it's going to do. I'm not one of the investors to hold on it, because I don't want to buy something for $50 and wait 2 years to make $1,000 on it. Like for the prismatic, or one of those that's like $1,500 for one of the premium collections, I think is the 151. I could take that $50, scale my business, make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 off of that same $50 if I invest it. So that's my personal opinion on it. But you guys let me know what your opinion is. Do you just like collecting the sealed stuff? Because I totally respect that. Having a full stack like back here, if I had this all filled with Pokemon, awesome. I would love that. But as a financial investment, for me, I'm not about that. And I could be totally wrong, but I'd rather just get that quick return. So you let me know. So yeah, my goal really is to open up my own card shop where I can actually have real distributors that are getting me real sealed product at real cost, and I can sell it real MSRP. Those things will fly off the shelf, and I'll have a strict no scalper policy. I don't know how exactly to do that, but anyways, that's way down the line. Last thing, people told me so much, YouTube, mainly, all the YouTubers, all the Twitch streamers that I follow, start creating content early. and I'm a big, what did you say, victim of that. It's a little strong word, but my life got the best of me. But guess what? I've been doing this since August. That's 9 months or so. Quick math. Just about 8 or 9 months now. This is in April, and I'm still doing it. I'm starting it. I'm doing my first video. Just got out of the shower. It's 10:31 at night, and my kids are in bed, and my wife's getting ready for bed. We're gonna watch Fallout after this, and I'm making this video. And like I said, it's raw. I don't plan on editing it at all the pauses in it and everything, because the most important thing is to start. So I'm starting, and I want you guys to follow along with me. Let me know what you think. I know the audio is probably not the best. The video, it's my camera, but I'm letting you guys know this is as simple as it gets. You guys just start. My whole business started with $50, and I've probably made about total $4,000 or $5,000 in revenue over 8 months. So it's not paying our bills. It's not doing any of that yet, but eventually it will. And that's why I'm making these videos, to help with that, to help you understand it, to help you answer your questions. If you don't even know how to do an eBay store, I found so many people who are like, you sell on eBay? And now that I've done it for 8 months, I'm like, yeah, it's a free account. You use USPS, you can use your home printer. Heck, you could freaking just do the QR code, take your stuff in a box to the post office and give them the QR code. You have a phone, you can run this business. So that's what I want to talk about today. A little longer than I was expecting, but it's my first video. So you guys, if you like this content, leave a like, subscribe if you want to follow along and see where Legion's Trading Post goes, and join us on the journey. Peace.